Yeah, you hide if you want. What you doing? Oh my goodness. Oh, you better be in the house. It's gotta be in the house. It's your dog. Oh, it's not over. Damn, it's hot. What is this not doing? What in the conditions? Yeah, over here working. I had to stop by over at the gun range. You see they're working. Never mind that, but they're working on the top. I had to pick up something. You see the bullet point? Well, I mean the thumbnail. Excuse the bullet point. That's what happens when you read too much. The thumbnail. Come on, dude. It's like 100 and something degrees. That means the people, at least to their ignorance. How many of y'all know how many copyright for the sounds of a seatbelt warning light? I'm just kidding. A whole bunch of Chinese, all right. Anyway, as I was saying before, when you look at your mother, right? She has a mother and a father. Therefore, they have a mother and a father, both of them. So she goes from 2 to 4, and then from 4, it goes to what? 16. How is that? Well, if you have 4 grandparents, or great-grandparents, they have how many great-grandparents? When you do the number, as far as her extension, it jumps up, right? And it keeps going. So if you had 8 people on some boat, let's say, hypothetically, and there's about 8 billion people now, how many generations would it take from 8 to 8 billion? Well, it would take only 200 generations, people. Do the math. It's not complicated. Now, in the book 1491 and 1493, I have them both. I have 1492, which is just hypocrisy. The individual that wrote 1491 made a note in there which he stated, by the time this is finished, the history will have changed by a century. We're talking about a book written within a year, maybe 2, right? 1491 is a note. I have the book. I've read it a couple of times. And that's like in any book that's dealing with the demographics of history. And in there, when he's talking about Columbus, so we know who Cristobal Colon is. He was a Negro. And the fact that his translator had to speak 3 languages. And it wasn't Mongolian, this, that, and the other. But if you want to take and subdivide, as you did other lands, you would set these people up. Now we know that some of the old West, so-called Western shows, utilized the same warriors by way of the Vatican who were conquering the Philippines, who attempted to conquer Brazil, didn't work so well, and California didn't work so well. In South America, because of the binary, or the fact that we look so much alike historically, that you can rewrite and subjugate and change history within one generation. I've been saying this for a long time. It doesn't take eons. It takes one generation to supplant. And then with the people, the children, who don't know their real history, but the one dictated, you supplement the other history and you write in the new. This has been ongoing. When I say that this is my ancestral soil, it has been and always has been. When they write out the fact that we had more people in so-called North America than Africa or Europe even combined, is an understatement. And then they say, oh, they all died off. Do you know it's easier based upon wars, murder, created germs. You know, it's funny how they throw the blankets with smallpox and black plague. You know, they play that out. Then why are we not dying from it still? Why is it the fact that they want everybody to believe that the woman's chromosome is the only thing that dictates the man, when it's the man's Y chromosome that dictates the nation? See, this is not, when they created patriarch and matriarch, we have to go back to rule of thumb. And that's just based on the 1940s, because of the 1920s. Nobody wants to hear that stuff out because they don't want to research it. I've read more than enough information to be able to hold a conversation with the most arduous debater. I call them mind manipulators or masturbators. They don't know nothing other than what's practical in their circle of ideology. I don't get into that. I look for the truth in everything. And the fact that I say Ashkenazi, it doesn't mean all my Jewish kinfolk. It means the reality is a perversion. Just like there are Negroes who partake in it who are not Ashkenaz. And then there are Negroes who are Ashkenaz. Oh, you don't think so? I got a couple of books to assist you in that embarkment as well. People have a hard time accepting the reality that one group of individuals can plot and plan, who have been subjugated, allowed to be murdered, and fight wars that were meaningless. The bloodletting. I have letters, a book of letters about the diets and what they ate compared to our history, our true history. The fact that 640 vegetables and fruits in Africa, 600 of them are indigenous to the Americas, whether it be southern or upmost to the north. And as far as those who believe in that directional factor, I like real history. I don't like to embark on this hate, and then you see what's going on with these. They put the weakest, uncivil, nastiest individuals in places of power. Puppets, every one of them. And y'all have the nerve, because you've been educated to believe in the lie that they're leaders. By the Constitution, they are not leaders. They are to do our bidding, to which they are not doing. And I am reading that in the Pale Horse. What is so hard to see from the truth of that? Why are you in their false expressions of life? Why do they hold on to the mysticisms of fabricated lies and illusions? Why do people choose deplorative narratives and songs and ways that have nothing to do with uplifting and love and harmony and balance? They're innocent. And we always hear Epstein. They've got hundreds of Epstein Islands. You had over 85,000 children from South America, slave labor, but the other 80,000 are gone. Andrew Cohen, who's the guy from Mad Max? And I said, both of them blacklisted. But what have they said? That Andrew Cohen, whatever that crap is real. It's synthetic on the market by a doctor. And it's 1,000 times more powerful than heroin and coke and all that, but it's totally different if you want to get into DMT. Why are people, that make you look young at everything, why are people having a hard time with the reality of this truth? There's Negroes that sell vitamins, and I've been hitting them hard. You know why? Because to get this androchrome, because you'd be surprised at how home that now, who will sell you out just to have that high. You think crack and all that is power? Been to those parties that have tasted it. And it's a sickness. And it's not with direction or focus. It's a perversion. You don't have to believe it. 8 to 8 billion, 8 to 8 billion people in 200 generations. Do the math. Everybody's related. But if diets have been alteration, and you see it, and yet you still, that's why I was saying, you won't adhere to crap that comes along. When you look at Robert Kennedy, his issue with his throat, that was an attempt to silence him without killing him. They figured if they killed him, it would show that the CIA is really about this murdering. They murder a whole lot of folks. It doesn't matter who they use. It's them doing it. And the sad part is they got people that work in there that's not part of this. Parliament. Well, I just wanted to come on and say that. Let me go on here and see if I got any mail. I got my 12-inch. You see this right here? This is a 12-inch compared to what you call a gas tube. See that right there? It's a 12-inch gas tube. So I'm going to shorten my barrel on another rifle I'm working on. But I got to go see the other parts in here I need. And I'll see y'all here in a little bit. I appreciate you guys checking in. Like I said, I'm not here to stop anything. I'm here to talk about some certain things because some certain things need to be discussed and talked about. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the reality, whether people believe it or not. And whether people believe it or not, well, that's on them. I'm not here to make you believe anything. I'm here to tell you to look into it. Just look into it. Look into it. All right? Hey, Coosa Federation, what's going on? What's going on, family? West Side, T. Hines. I hope that was good enough for you guys. I know people are stuck in their... That's the one. The need is, I really don't care. It'd be wonderful if they come around, but if they don't, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mitch, what's going on? Yeah, I was driving, and it's the way the system's going right now. But anyway, let me go ahead and do what I got to do. When I get home, we're going to get the next read in.